Well, we've got a lot to talk about. Nathan and I have sat here all night, and it's been a whirlwind of emotions from Penix. That is the most confusing first-round pick I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. I'm not even rubbing it in yet.
I told you I'd take my L.
I'm not even rubbing it in yet. But
I told you I'd take my L.
You know, we did a whole video talking about where J.J. McCarthy would go. So we just found out 15 seconds before we came on that Ricky Pearsall has been selected by the 49ers.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't think this is going to mean a lot for his production and for his dynasty value until Ayuk gets moved. Because
I think that's the assumption is Ayuk's going to get moved.
I think that's. I mean, would you assume that means Ayuk is going to get moved? Like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
And you also have to think. So we have yet to see what the Bills pick is.
I was going to say the Bills pick really.
If the Bills don't take. They traded to Carolina.
Carolina's going to take Leggett, dude. I freaking know it. Oh my gosh, they better not.
So did they move back one more spot?
Yeah, so did they just... All right, keep us updated. We're going to take your questions now and comments, Dynasty headlines. So I'll give you a little bit of an update. We're going to have a video come out this morning. We are literally around the clock working for you.
This morning is honestly early morning.
Yeah, we're recording it after
possible.
This is honestly kind of fun. Like I like this.
This is a blast.
Yeah, I'm not even like tired yet.
I'm not even that upset that I was slightly wrong about McCarthy.
Awesome. So let's give you where our rookie rankings sit right now. So first of all, bearish or bullish on late first now? I want to turn the comments on.
Actually,
we are what?
I was just thinking. I think everyone's assuming that Ayuk's going to get traded if they drafted Pearsall. What if it's Debo?
Well, they've talked. I mean, Adam Schefter mentioned it could have been Debo. It could be Debo. So, did you tag the folks in the Discord?
Yes.
Okay. It could be Debo. But I don't know. We're very high on late first. This played out exactly how we thought it would. Obviously, all the landing spots aren't great, but we're going to tell you and try to talk you into some of this, like why. So ask questions about landing spots. Like, I'm not freaking out about most of these. The one I'm freaking out about the most is Penix, easily. Because Penix is a top 10 draft capital quarterback now in Dynasty that I'm not taking before the 206. Like, I mean, it's bad. Like, it's awful. So Panthers traded up. Leggett to the Panthers. There it is.
I don't know if that's like serious.
Can you check for me, Kyle? Did Xavier Leggett just go to the Panthers? Okay.
Oh my god.
But it is being reported by NFL reporters.
So we can assume that it's true.
All right. So
he's in that. Yeah.
No. But so this is. So I mean, this class. This class in the last 5 picks just got. I mean, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 dynasty relevant assets went in the first round. Lad to the Panthers. Who got picked by the Panthers?
Oh, we're hearing multiple things here. Lad to the Panthers would be real nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd be a big fan of that.
I'm seeing Xavier Leggett. I think it's going to be Xavier Leggett. So
we'll just assume Leggett.
We'll just assume Leggett until we see it. I bet I could find it on Twitter real quick.
No, I just cannot wrap my head around Xavier Leggett over Adonai Mitchell right now. I can't.
The Panthers are taking South Carolina wide receiver Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an awful pick for Carolina, by the way. It's freaking awful.
They just made the Mingo mistake.
So again. So Anna says crazy fun draft. Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs. Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs really kind of turned this class around for me in terms of like the dynasty depth of it, because I think you were looking at some really tough options from a landing spot perspective, and now you get Xavier Worthy 1-9, 110 probably. That is a great person to draft there. Obviously, Leggett and Pearsall both getting first-round draft capital. That's a big deal, too. I mean, because I think... I don't know. Pearsall could end up being a good value if people short him enough.
He very well could be, yeah.
Penix to the Falcons ahead of McCarthy. Everyone go home now. Look, here's what I'll say about that. We had Michael Penix and Bo Nix higher than almost every single Dynasty channel out there.
We
it was a shot called for Penix, and honestly,
really
like...
hard.
You know, we were right because he got drafted high, but the landing spot, I mean, you're talking about like he got drafted as a backup. Like, I've never seen a backup quarterback get drafted top 10. Like,
and what's really weird about it is Cousins was all reports point to Cousins being pretty significantly blindsided by this. So
I don't want to hear anything about Odunze's value going down next video from you, Bearhead. Odunze's value didn't go down. The situation...
We were never bear haters.
No, we're not bear haters, and the situation for Odunze is not as bad as people are making it out to be.
It is not, and you'll probably end up getting him at a good
we'll explain
value.
why on tonight's video.
Yep.
Penix dead, most likely. Nick's dead. I don't think so. Nix is a guy that got top 12 draft capital to a team where he can start right away playing with Sean Payton.
He is very well alive.
Knicks is fine.
He just won 12
Rome
overall.
barely alive. Rome is alive and well. Worthy and BTJ to the moon. I think they're both good landing spots for Brian Thomas and Worthy.
Yeah.
I like this.
Bowers, I think, is the big day one faller. Just
Bauer,
from initial...
Yeah, I just don't immediate impact. Like, it sucks for Bowers.
There's nothing about the situation that I like at all.
Yeah.
So.
JJ McCarthy, the 106, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. We have him slotted now at 105, actually. Because, you're talking about the best possible landing spot, in my opinion, for JJ McCarthy. A guy who's going to have Kevin McConnell, now developing him.
And they didn't have to give up the farm to go get him either.
No, they didn't. They stayed put.
Which
it was
is
smart.
ideal for them as a team. Like,
so
everyone had him going top 5.
I think we'll lock... Look, so what we have so far, as we're building out our rankings for Dynasty, we have Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. in the S tier. And then May, Daniels, McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze. So that's that S2 tier that we're talking about. It didn't end up being 7 people, but it ended up being 5. And you're talking about when we're talking about the down tier strategy, the down tier strategy has paid off now because you're getting, the amount of guys that went in the top 12, it's just ridiculous. So we're look like. Obviously, some of the strategy we put out there this year being very rookie heavy, not like us. We're fairly pleased with how night 1 played out, honestly. Like, I think Nathan and I both are feeling pretty good. Like, I feel like the moves we made and the moves you made are going to pay off from a value standpoint. Yeah. So, very excited about that.
I was starting to feel gross after the Bowers pick.
Yeah, it didn't look
we were
good.
Like, really, the late first is what's going to make or break kind of what we thought would happen with these late first and early seconds. And now here we are. We're at 14. And really all we needed was 12 for us to feel pretty good going into day 2. Guys, we haven't even seen where Brooks and Benson are going to go.
No, this class,
202.
guys, this class is deep. People said rookie fever, and I promise you it's not rookie fever. It was always the fact that this was possible. Mm-hmm. And I think almost best case scenario has played out tonight. Adonai Mitchell falling in the second round is notable. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, everything went pretty much according to plan, with the exception of some bad landing spots, but we expected that.
You always expect that.
You always expect bad landing spots.
We just talked about this, I think at the beginning of last week, or maybe earlier this week, we were like, up until the day of the draft, we are dealing with theoreticals and with dream landing spots and where you think players should be going. It is never even close to in line with where players actually end up going, and it's just the reality of the fact.
Nathan's not going to make it tomorrow if you're making him step late. Look, I think tomorrow's going to be just as fun. Nathan and I are doing fine, honestly. I think Nathan will be good. We're both going to be fine.
You really start struggling to the 3 a.m.
and that's when we'll do the song and we'll be good.
Decider.
We think we know who was wearing the shirt. Yeah, so the shirt, there you go. Yeah, he's a loser. He was wrong. I was right. I was right.
Hey, at least I put my foot down on he was definitely not going top 5, and he didn't go top 5.
So tell me,
I was still wrong. So
tell me in the comments, how concerned are we with Ricky Pearsall? Do we think it means Ayuk gets for sure moved? And if he does, where are you drafting him in rookie drafts? Because I think if Ayuk's on the team during rookie drafts, you're getting Pearsall 201, 202, 203 easily. And I think that's great value for a first-round wide receiver. That's fantastic value.
So you think they'll wait to trade one of those guys until after the draft, or you still think they could do it mid-draft? Because
it's probably going to be after, which is why I think he's going to end up being a good value.
Second-round picks are so valuable when if you moved a second-round pick to acquire Ayuk, you're also taking on the inevitable contract that you're going to have to pay him, which is why he's probably worth at most a second-round pick.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with Higgins. So that's probably why he wasn't moved today.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. So let's talk about our dynasty rankings so far. This is going to be changing because you're going to have running backs jump up tomorrow. But right now, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and you have May, Daniels, McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze in the next tier. So that's 7 prospects in that S and A tier. You down tiered from the 102 to the 1-4 through 1-6. You're getting pretty good value there, honestly. The B tier is going to be Xavier Worthy at the top. Xavier Worthy will be flirting with the A tier, in my opinion.
Yep.
I think you have to. I think you have to say that. And Mimbo Nix and Brian Thomas Jr. again, all the same tier. So Worthy, Nix, Brian Thomas Jr. And then you have Bowers in that tier as well. Bowers is our biggest faller of the night, and it's not necessarily. Look, I don't want to overreact about the landing spot for Bowers, but
I do.
But so I'm curious, why are you so down on the landing spot? Just because they don't have a quarterback yet?
Actually, Minshew is fine. I mean, we just went through an entire season of Minshew. He's volume wise, he can help people produce. I'm not really concerned about that. I just there's not a single thing I trust Vegas to do from a team building perspective. And I like where,
it was a
where
bad
are they going
pick.
with this? Like how much am I going to trust Bowers to produce and be super successful long term when they just invested a high pick in Michael Mayer last year and they basically just crapped on him and sent him away?
Yeah, he definitely is the biggest faller in our rankings.
How are we going to trust this with Bowers at this point? And I know it's a bigger investment. It's a day one pick. I understand it's different. Part of me is just processing too, because I'm pretty ticked that he went to Vegas of all places. It was one of the last places I expected him to go.
Yeah.
The last, actually, because they had Mayer.
Yeah.
So,
hey, will you guys get off the Wi-Fi if you're on it, because we're dropping frames. It might not help, but let's try it. All right. Let's see. Worthy over Odunze now.
Worthy over that was a comment. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
I don't think so either.
I think we are of the opinion that there is a significant possibility that Odunze is going to fall quite a bit in terms of market value in your rookie drafts. I'm going to trust the draft capital, first of all, at 9, which is where he belongs, where he should have gone, and that's where he did go. And I'm going to trust the talent. I'm going to trust not only the talent of Odunze, but also Williams long term. And on top of that, like, Worthy is awesome. And he just got the dream landing spot with Patrick Mahomes. It might take him a little bit of time to produce because of Hollywood Brown being there for a year, so there might be kind of a developmental stage there at the moment. Going into his rookie season, obviously the Rashee Rice questions we don't really know. I just think there's a chance that Worthy's value could get so high just because of the landing spot to a point where we might actually be avoiding him in rookie drafts initially, and then we'll go buy him later at a cheaper price.
It looks like the internet is just pooping out. So sorry about that, but we'll keep going and hope that it saves itself. If you guys are on the Wi-Fi, I just took everything off. So Ricky round 1 is interesting. Panthers traded up. Nathan, you want to tier up from the 110 to the 105. Are you wanting to do that?
Not really.
Yeah.
At the moment, no.
I'm going to take some comments. I'm going to mess with this real quick. Go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
Take some.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Becca said y'all need to see this reaction. I assume you're talking about the Penix reaction, which was,
2,000.
Shocking.
2,500.
Reggie says Panthers traded up to, yeah. Why did they pick Ricky? Ayuk is leaving. Pearsall, seriously, why? Yeah, again, I kind of said this earlier in the stream, but I'm wondering if the Pearsall move maybe wasn't to move off Ayuk, maybe it was to trade away Debo to a team. Obviously, that's just kind of first reactions because they'd been in talks with re-signing Ayuk and they like Ayuk. Debo, I think they may have a safer out with Debo if they traded him away, and he's the older option anyways. So I think that would be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and profile wise, like Pearsall is a separator, which is I feel like more similar to Ayuk than I'd say Debo in that regard, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
So I'd say he'd be a more likely replacement. I do also think there's a scenario where they just keep Ayuk because no one's willing to trade and then just
stick with all
Pearsall,
three.
Yeah.
You know, for a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I lean trade, but there's definitely that scenario too where they just onboard him.
Yeah, I think a lot of answers will be answered like tomorrow, seriously, because, well, that'll be today because it's midnight now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When's their next pick? Like, who do you think would be most interested in selling their second round pick for a guy like Ayuk?
Man.
I mean, you'd obviously say Buffalo right out the gate, but they're picking at 33 because they just traded back a spot, so they'll be the first one on the board. They may as well just take a receiver there.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's such an influx of young receivers coming in. I feel like most teams are just going to say, give me Lad McConkey and the rookie deal instead of having to pay Ayuk a lot of money. I'll just get him in free agency.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's going to be a hard market for guys like Higgins and Ayuk, which is why I think we didn't see any movement today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
Higgins will be interesting too.
I know.
If the Patriots wanted to make a move, Kyle brought that up. That's interesting.
So the other big takeaway,
do that.
I think the other big takeaway from tonight, and something that didn't really go as expected, was that, you do 3,500, John, was that there were hardly any trades, like compared to, the trades that did happen were very marginal. So no groundbreaking trades. So I thought that was interesting as well. Okay, so moving on with the rest of our dynasty rankings. So the C tier right now is Leggett, Pearsall, and then Penix is last. Like Penix could get bumped down a lot here. Honestly, Penix could get bumped down a whole lot, and I would not be surprised to see him continue to fall. So with that, be prepared. I'm not sure. Normally, I'm a draft capital guy with quarterbacks like that with value insulation, but I'm not particularly sure that Michael Penix is going to be a value in the second round of dynasty drafts right now. And Nathan and I were kind of like, Nathan was like, oh, he's going to be a smashing value. And I'm just so tentative because, again, you're talking about maybe the worst possible situation for Penix to be in. He's behind a quarterback that just got a huge deal. And so while this is indeed, dynasty, and it is we're talking superflex leagues, man, I think he could fall a lot. So what I think happens tomorrow is I think you get running backs in here, and I think this class becomes awesome. So very excited about that, though. Ayuk have to go to the Pats. Honestly, the Pats I thought the Jags, but the Jags just took a receiver. Mm-hmm. Bowers the Raider is gross. I agree. Ricky to the moon. Ayuk is going to be gone for sure. Panthers traded up. Leggett, no Adonai. Yeah. So Adonai Mitchell. We've talked about Adonai Mitchell and how crazy of a prospect he is. And how we've talked about first round hype, whatever, and no Adonai tonight. That's the surprise of the night, honestly.
That is a surprise.
We got a super chat from Alex. Alex, appreciate you, my friend. I have the 112 in a rebuild. Should I trade up, down, or hold? I'd hold
for now.
Those late first right now.
We gotta let the dust settle for sure. Guys, we're talking about 14 guys. Benson and Brooks haven't gone yet, and they're gonna get solid draft capital.
Yeah.
And they're going to get probably solid landing spots. How dare I assume that I know? With all the stuff
you guys look super bummed. We are not bummed at all. We are happy with tonight. We think it went well for dynasty purposes. We have been live since 5 o'clock. So we have been sitting in these chairs.
Yeah. So Drake Wall above the super chat says Penix is the next Jordan Love. That's kind of what the initial assumption was, but that leads me to the biggest question and why I freaked out when I saw the pick go down. Why the heck would they spend the 8th overall pick in the NFL draft on a 23-year-old, pretty well-polished quarterback to sit for 2 or 3 years until he's 26, 27 years old to be behind Kirk Cousins? It makes no sense. If they were going to do that, why would it not be J.J. McCarthy?
I know. That's a pick.
McCarthy is the guy that you spend that type of pick on.
Yeah, I don't know. We got a super chat from Hummels. Hummels, what's up, buddy?
I had to rant.
Reactions, I know. It just doesn't make any sense. Our reaction.
Zero.
I didn't know what to say.
And it didn't make any sense. Cousins was blindsided. Seriously, it's the report of the day.
Let's spend
he's pretty ticked.
Let's spend some time on this, actually. Reactions on Brian Thomas Jr. to the Jaguars. I like it, but most of what I've seen has been negative. Then I got to run because I'm golfing with Bumblebee in the AM. Who is Bumblebee?
Bumblebee is one of our supporters.
I didn't know you guys actually knew each other. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, so let's talk about Brian Thomas to the Jaguars, because Brian Thomas right now is slotted in on our rankings at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 10 right now. He's in the same tier as 8 through 11. So he could go anywhere as high as the 108, in my opinion. But here's what's going to happen. I don't think the reaction, I don't think the dynasty community reaction to Brian Thomas going there is going to be negative for the most part. I feel like as we get further away from the draft, you're going to have more positive view of Brian Thomas being on the Jaguars. Because when you're talking about the fit with the Jaguars, you have Christian Kirk, who plays a very high percentage of his snaps in the slot. And so when you're looking at how Brian Thomas was used at LSU, he was lined up at X receiver, I think 80% of the time. Mm-hmm. And so he's used to being the X. They need an X. They don't have a very dominant X right now, but they have somebody that is really good at working the middle of the field in Christian Kirk, somebody really good at winning routes. And so I think those two pair together very well. I think Trevor Lawrence has really neat. Look, I think Calvin Ridley was good for them. But I think Trevor Lawrence is really going to benefit from having Brian Thomas Jr. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is more skilled than some of the different receivers we've seen at his size come out in recent years. And so with that, I'm very pleased with this landing spot. I think there were a couple receivers, Adonai Mitchell maybe being one of them, but we know, and you guys know this as well, Brian Thomas Jr. is better than Adonai Mitchell. It's why he kind of separated himself as the wide receiver 4. And tonight we saw him go wide receiver 4 off the board. And there's a reason for that. So I think it's a good landing spot. It's a landing spot with lots of opportunity, a landing spot where he's got somebody to play alongside that's going to be good. And schematically, I think it's going to be good as well. So I like the landing spot a lot. I'm very happy with that. And honestly, I think the Dynasty community is going to warm up to... I think the Dynasty community is going to warm up to that landing spot a lot. I think it's a good landing spot. You have any thoughts?
No, the only thoughts that I have
you agree, right?
Calvin Ridley, who didn't play football for 2 years, went in there and he put up 1,000 yards with Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, put your opinion of Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars situation aside. I'll put my own opinion aside. Like, the volume is there, and it will always be there as long as Trevor Lawrence is there. And I am super happy about Brian Thomas going there.
Drop all your questions, Dynasty questions. How does this? We've got our rankings. Like we're working on them as we go through the draft. We're answering all the questions we can. So drop all your questions and comments. Obviously, we'll answer as many as we can. We do have super chats here. Gabriel, what's up, buddy? You must sing this. Bear down, Chicago Bears make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. I don't know the tune. Nice, that was cute.
I do know the Bengals. I do know the Bugles tune.
Should I just guess it? Bear down, Chicago Bears make every play clear the way to victory. That didn't fit. that seems maybe it's like
going okay.
I know. I felt good about it.
To victory.
Look, the Bears had a good night. I don't think Odunze's landing spot's bad, guys. I talked about this in a video, but like when we're talking about Odunze, Neighbors, and Harrison, and I said if one of them goes to a team with an established wide receiver, they're drafting over the receivers that they already have on the team because Rome Odunze is good enough to be a 1 over DJ Moore and over Keenan Allen.
They're playing the long game with the Odunze and Caleb Williams pairing. Keenan Allen, obviously a Band-Aid. DJ Moore, I mean, most of DJ Moore's production last year came from screenplays because that's all Justin Fields was capable of doing.
Yeah.
Like their offense is going to look a lot better or a lot different next year and better because they're going to have someone who can actually throw the ball and, progress through multiple reads. And that's going to help every single person in that offense in the pass game. I'm not trying to take shots. I'm just being honest. But like
he said 3 out of 10, but 10 out of 10 on the entertainment scale. We love you, buddy. Hey, you're our resident Bears fan, right?
Yeah. Hey, I do want to read something here that Jacob Williams said that I spotted. He said, I don't disagree based on the age, but the Vikings draft room looked disgusted when Penix went off the board. And that was the only other thought that went through my mind when the Falcons seriously took Penix. I was like, are they trying to screw Minnesota? Because at that point, we had gotten to 8 and we knew that it wasn't going to be a few more picks until McCarthy went at the earliest.
Right.
And we started thinking like Penix actually legit may go. And
I like this question.
Maybe that was the case. So I don't know.
Gabriel, we appreciate you, buddy. Justin says, what's the teardrop now? 107 or 108? So what you have and what we talked about in our videos leading up to the draft is you do have this S and S2 tier. I think this tier of second tier guys is really good because you have 2 quarterbacks in here that went top 5. One quarterback in here that went top 10 and 2 wide receivers in here that went top 10. That's an S2 tier. We've seen it happen now. And so
we're going to call it that from now on.
The teardrop is after the 107 at the moment. So you've got Williams, Harrison, May, Daniels, McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze. Then you go down Worthy, Nix, Brian Thomas Jr., Bowers, Leggett, Pearsall, Penix. But the teardropping to Xavier Worthy, going in the first round to the Chiefs, I'm not super disappointed if I'm at the 108 right now. Not at all, especially considering the running backs could end up throwing a wrench in this entire... with the running back sneaking in the first round here, man, I mean, this is going to get interesting in Dynasty rookie drafts, which, if you haven't already, subscribe because we have 7 videos planned for you this weekend. A lot of rookie drafts start right after the draft. We're going to have rankings, mock drafts, strategy, wide receiver, all of it. We are here to sort through this stuff and help you. So appreciate you guys all being here. Ben's got a super chat for us. Ben, appreciate you, buddy. Hope your draft night was fun. 102, 103, 104, 107. I'm going May. Now we can answer these questions because we have landing spots. May, Marvin. Yeah, I would go Marv. Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., or do I go Daniels instead of May?
Oh, man.
So, I mean, it's tough. That's going to be team dependent, in my opinion.
Sometimes your hands are tied with market value. And I think objectively, the market is going to favor Daniels over May because of the landing spot. Nothing came out. Landing spot. I think May is going to fall.
Yeah.
And I think people hate May to the Patriots. And honestly, it's understandable, but I don't really care personally because I like the talent. I'll gladly take May at the 106, 107. That was one of our biggest pre-draft predictions, is that May was going to fall to the 105 to 107 range, and it's going to happen, and he's going to be one of the better values in the draft.
Great question. Again, I want to see the rest of your team, but I think that plan is good so far. Yeah. What is your top 5 in rookie draft Superflex right now from our guy Ty? What's up, Ty?
So Caleb, Marvin, May, Daniels.
This is tough.
And then
pick your favorite of McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze.
No, yeah.
Probably
McCarthy and Odunze. Or sorry, probably McCarthy.
Look,
or Neighbors.
like how do you not take McCarthy to the Vikings? That is the dream landing spot.
Yeah.
That is the landing spot we talked about. That's the landing spot.
Yes,
right?
I know. Yep.
It's crazy.
It was the one thing we talked about. We were like, if McCarthy goes top 5 to the Vikings and they trade that for him and move that far up to go get him, then he is the QB2 in the class. They didn't give up a ton of capital to go trade up for him in the top 5. They got him at 10, but he's still on that S2 tier because of the landing spot. So
I'll say it again, Slick Rick to the moon. Like, look, there are a lot of people were very high on Ricky Pearsall. And now Ricky Pearsall finds himself in an interesting situation, in a situation that I think lends itself to him being a buy in Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Yeah, I did not see this.
I didn't either. Like, I did not think San Francisco was taking skill position.
I thought he'd be fringe second, third round, like where he was drafted.
What do
in
you
the
think
NFL
about
draft.
Pearsall?
I mean, he's an incredible player. He's in that middle tier.
I mean, it's just one of those situations where the Dynasty community got really high on somebody and it just panned out.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is definitely, it makes sense that Shanahan would want to take a guy like this.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the guys for Shanahan to take at the end of the first round offensively at the wide receiver position, like Pearsall, I'd be like, I mean, yeah, that's shocking, but also not really, because that just seems like a San Fran thing to do.
You guys got a busy week ahead with drafts and videos. Thanks for what you do. Jacob, thank you, my friend. We do. So we are live tonight. As long as all of you are hanging out with us, drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't. And let's talk. Like, ask us your questions. Like, what do we need to talk about to sort through, like, Dynasty stuff right now? Obviously, we don't have all the answers, but a lot of that first round we have answers for. And, man, we know that things are looking decent. There are obviously some duds from a landing spot perspective, but things are looking decent. We're live tonight. We have a video that we're going to record right after this, after we, like, recover our voices. We're going to go home and sleep.
We screamed a lot.
We're coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have an all-night live stream. Saturday we have a video. Sunday 2 videos. Monday 2 videos. Video every day next week. I hope you guys are sticking around. It's going to be fun. This is going to be tough to dissect, but I think we're really going to be able to get our analytics team on this and really be able to sort through what's what now.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for your super chat.
We're at
Caleb
369 current views.
Nice. Three nice. 3 nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. 3 nice.
3 nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's the 104 in a 1 QB league right now? Neighbors, Odunze. Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
Xavier Worthy is the 104 in 1 QB league.
Yes, he is.
By the way, you 1 QB folks that we love so much, we will have 1 QB rankings out for you. Honestly, I need to add that video into the rotation because I think there's a lot of demand for that right now because they're going to be
Which one? 1 QB.
1 QB rankings. Yeah, probably earlier than I thought.
So you want to move it up?
Yeah, we'll talk
on
about
Saturday.
it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Maybe Bofa. So
the nice thing about it is it doesn't really hurt the success of other videos going around it.
So definitely not Bowers and BTJ. You could make an argument to be the 104. Our pick right now is Worthy. I mean, I think same tier. So, right? Same tier.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your super chat. I mean, again, it could have been worse.
What, guys, there's a good chance that Bo Nix, even though he went top 12 in the NFL draft, falls to the end of the first.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you're going to be
opinion.
getting Bo Nix in super flex leagues.
At the end of the first round.
At the 110, 111.
After he was drafted 12th overall.
Where are you getting him at, Nathan?
Late first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who are you getting in the early second?
Dude, but not a first-round quarterback. That was my point. That's my point. Guys, the late first value is going to be great. Da boy Debo. Right? Am I reading that right? Far away. Superflex, no tight end premium. Tank, 106. Ingram, 25 first for the 101. Superflex, no tight end premium. Ingram's nothing. It's the 106, 25 first tank for that. You know what? I'm staying 106 there. I definitely, if it's your first, I definitely don't want to give up that first. Like, I don't think tonight's like an overreacting trade up to the 101. Like at the 106, you're getting one of May, Daniels, McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze. I'm fine staying there. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
You get there. You got it. You got it. Lambo Leap says, I have the 102, 103, 106, and 109. You need quarterback. You're leaning Caleb Williams and Odunze and then at 106, either Daniels, May, JJ McCarthy, Neighbors, and BPA. Who's BPA?
Best player available.
Best player. Thank you guys. At one, I have 7 hours of Dynasty content brain. What do you think? I think that's a good plan. That looks to me like a good plan right now. I think if you really need QB, you definitely get 2 of them there. I think you consider down tiering from the 109. I think you trade back from, this is where we talked about trading back into that early early second. We talked about in the video the other day. I think this is where you do that. You have that late first. That late first has an increase in value. Make somebody come pay for your late first and go trade into the early second. And take one of the guys either from today or from tomorrow that's going to fall there. So that's what I think. Good strategy. Lambo Leap, thanks for your super chat. Take David's.
Yeah, so David says, I sang the Bears fight song and I put it in the Discord for Gabriel. We appreciate you. Bear down.
Bears had a good night. I mean, you're talking about Chicago Bears, like, man, their weapons group. Right?
Yeah.
You got 2.
I thought their weapons group was solid before they got Odunze.
You got 2 Chicago rookies right now going in the top 6 of Dynasty drafts, top 7. So, NFL draft winners, Downs and Pickens. Downs for sure. Pickens, yeah, sure. I think they both they come away looking pretty good tonight. Honestly, I really do. Yeah. We'll see about tomorrow. But here's the thing. I mean, a guy that people were talking about fringe first round who wasn't even mentioned tonight was Ladd McConkey. And I thought this might happen. I thought we got a little bit too cute because now he's what?
Oh, fringe in your rookie mocks.
Yes,
but not the NFL draft.
Well, people were talking about him about fringe first round NFL too, but
I mean,
mostly
if he goes tomorrow at 33, then
I don't think he will though. So like, at best, he's 1, 2, 3, 4,
expect
5,
Pearsall
6.
to go over Ladd though.
I thought something like that could happen. I just wasn't sold on him going that high. Was my point. Like, and I made it very clear in our last rankings video that I didn't think that was.
I never expected Pearsall.
People were talking about Ladd to the Chiefs at 30, whatever, 32, a lot. Or wherever they picked, a lot.
I'm a bigger fan of Worthy for sure.
Yeah,
going there.
I absolutely am too. That's way better. Thank you for your super chat, Anthony. We appreciate you, buddy. If you have a question, please let us know. I'll look, but I don't think I've seen a question from you yet.
No,
so
I scrolled up and looked.
So okay, cool. Drop your questions, drop your comments. We'll scroll up and take some question here, but we have a lot of comments right now. So look again. Our rankings, in case you've missed it, our rankings so far. S tier, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. A tier, May, Daniels, McCarthy, Neighbors, and Odunze. B tier, Worthy, Nix, Brian Thomas, and Bowers. C tier, Leggett, Pearsall. And then Penix is somewhere. Penix is just going to keep getting pushed down as long as you see people drafted tomorrow. It sucks, man. It just sucks. Whatever. I think it's fine, but I'm glad he went top 10. I really am happy for the guy, but like I think Kirk Cousins is like appalled. I think Twitter saying Debo is more likely to be traded than Ayuk. That's really interesting. What would that look like, Nathan? I mean,
that's kind of what I mentioned. I was like, I think the first reaction everyone had was like, oh, well, Ayuk's going to get traded because they took Pearsall. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, Debo's also there, and he could also get traded away. I'm just trying to think where he could realistically go, where they could utilize him right away and he would be effective for that team.
Yeah.
Because he's not a true alpha wide receiver one that you build your team around. Like I wouldn't say like a Buffalo would go out there and get him. I would probably think of like an established team that's pretty solid or competitive would go out and get a guy like Debo Samuel. I'm just trying to process through like who
does Pearsall fit better with, Ayuk or Debo?
Oh, I think he fits better with Ayuk.
I think you're right. I mean, I definitely do.
That's why I'm kind of advocating for. I think Debo might be the guy that's dealt.
You know, it's interesting.
So,
like,
what team would you like to see Debo playing?
Somebody with an established slot wide receiver, I think.
Someone that already has an established slot wide receiver?
Well, no.
You're going to need someone who's going to take away defenders so that Debo can use his yak ability to get.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about
So
a
like
team. We've talked about a team that doesn't have speed offensively, despite all their talent. The Falcons would make a lot of sense.
They would be stacked if that happened too.
That would make a lot of sense.
I think somebody asked if Drake London's value increased. Drake London's value pretty much stayed the same tonight, I think. He's still very valuable in Dynasty. Not a Dynasty question. How do we feel about the Latu pick as Colts fan? Also a Colts fan. It's interesting.
It's actually...
I won't spend too
grew
much
on
time
us.
because it's not Dynasty, but it's growing on us.
Yeah.
Biggest winner tonight is Caleb. I don't think there's any debate about him or Marvin Harrison Jr. We have Caleb in the same tier as Marv. Drop in the comments. Should Caleb be in a tier of his own, or should they both be in the same tier in Dynasty? Because I love Marv's landing spot. A lot of people are saying Colts for Debo. That's interesting.
I mean, it would make sense. So I've seen Debo to the Giants, Debo to Dallas. Sounds like a lot. some different.
No,
fans of
Debo to
different teams.
Dallas though. That would be perfect.
That offense would be terrifying.
Him and CD would be bananas.
That would be terrifying.
Does that fit their style of offense though? Because they've never really had a Debo type.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, like I would see them. I would see him more in a Steichen-esque offense or a team that needs someone like that.
He'd kill with the Colts. Him and Pittman would go
Yeah,
nuts.
that would be ridiculous.
Andrew, appreciate your super chat, buddy. I have the 103 and a 112 and a 12 team, 1 QB. Who should I target based on tonight's draft? I don't need any QBs. At the 103, you're taking one of the 3 best receivers that were off the board tonight. You've got Harrison, you've got Odunze, and you've got Neighbors. Probably Odunze there.
Odunze will probably
Don't
be the
worry
throw-off.
about it. Don't worry about Odunze. Don't worry about the hype with the landing spot or lack thereof. Like Odunze's gonna be fine in Dynasty, guys. Odunze is that good.
Yep.
So
112?
answering the question, same tier. So I think we've got it right with Marv up there with Caleb Williams. So
Yes.
112, we don't know yet.
I actually would still anticipate that Pearsall is going to be going around there.
I think so too. And 1 QB. Yeah.
Because your running backs are going to get pushed up the boards with Benson going tomorrow and probably Brooks too. So Anthony Firstman says Superflex League with 3 years left before reset, pick 105.
Superflex League, 3 years left.
Probably
quarterback there.
Yeah, QB.
I think you're going quarterback there. Like
Now, I mean, with it 3 years left before a reset, that actually scares me a little more taking.
Yeah, but it's 3 years. Like, you know,
That's true. Yeah.
3 years is a good amount of time. Yeah, I think you're taking quarterback there. It's what I think right now. I think McCarthy's going to be a really good value in this draft, honestly. Would you agree with that? Because I think he's going to slide behind the receivers in a lot of drafts. And at that point, like...
I don't know. I think you're going to have enough people that are low on Odunze and hate. I mean, remember everyone talking about, if Odunze goes to the Giants, he's going to lose a ton of value. That's my least favorite landing spot. Neighbors just went there. Like, people are going to hate that just as much. And I think they might be the guys that take the hit more than McCarthy
I know
does.
that this isn't going to tell us everything tonight, but I'm curious. I want to do a mock draft with you guys. So let's do a mock draft here real quick. And let's see kind of how things have shaken out for the first round so far. Look, I know a lot of this.
There's one particular guy where I'm very curious to see where he goes.
I know a lot. I know a lot of this is theoretical still. Like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But let's do it. I want to do it and see where these guys.
Get a good idea of the first round, especially.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me pull the comments back up here. Yeah. No, that's not the one. All right, I'll drop this in the chat for you guys in just a second, but I'll ask your questions, drop your comments.
Rose said Debo to the Chargers. That would also make a
Debo
lot
to the
of
Chargers would
sense.
be nuts.
That would work really well.
That would work very well with
their
their type of offense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would.
Because they just proved what their style of offense is going to be this year with that pick.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I'm gonna drop this mock draft here into the YouTube comments for y'all. Go ahead and jump in. Let's see what the first round looks like right now. Even with the running backs, you can still take a running back and say, I'm predicting they're going where, whatever. But let's see what this looks like right now. I'm really curious. And let's just, let's talk about it. So this is going to be interesting, I think. I think this is going to tell you a lot. Maybe we'll do more than one of these, but like, man. Let's watch. Okay. So Tim O'Shea is at the first pick. I assume this is going to be Caleb Williams here.
Here's one thing that we know for
I'll turn that off.
absolute shizzle. For sure, hands down, after what happened today, even though Marv and Neighbors only went 2 picks apart, like there is a clear teardrop between Marvin Harrison Jr. and those other 2 receivers in the top 3.
Yeah.
Like hands down. Because we were starting to, the closer we got to the draft, it was like, some people have Neighbors higher than Marv on their boards, which, maybe that still is true with some NFL teams. But at the end of the day,
Yeah, it's
You've
not
got Marvin Harrison Jr.
the
tied to
landing
Kyler
spot
Murray.
really separated him there. So
huge, yeah.
okay, let's talk about this. Caleb, Marv, Jaden Daniels at 3. I can't necessarily argue with it at the moment because of the draft capital, because of the rushing upside. Okay, then we've got Neighbors at 4, McCarthy at 5, Rome after McCarthy at 6, Drake May here at 7, which we predicted would happen. Top 3 draft capital for a quarterback. He's going to 1-7. Xavier Worthy ahead of Bowers and Thomas. You've got Thomas and then Penix at the 111. I honestly think he falls a lot more than this. Trey Benson goes here. Interesting. Okay, so we're still predicting Trey Benson ends up ahead of these receivers here.
I think it's a wise prediction.
Honestly, I think it is too. But this is, let's see how the second round goes. Bo Nix at the 2-1, dude. The 2-1, you got Bo Nix. How did Penix go ahead of Nix in this one? We'll do this again. How did Penix go ahead of Nix here?
I don't think you're going to see Bowers going over Thomas very often.
I don't think so either.
I think Bowers is a solidified, locked in, late first round pick now.
That's which Bauer. Oh man, that landing spot, man.
It's garbage.
It's so like that's the one landing spot I think tonight that we walk away from and we're like, oh my,
like that
gosh,
that was an absolute killer.
That's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
And why would they do that? They have so many needs.
I know.
So many.
Like, how do you? You're rebuilding.
How do you build a program around a tight end? Bowers is supposed to be your luxury
fellas,
item.
Chicago's returning an adjusted 130% of their 2023 receiving yards, and that's not even factoring in Odunze. That's vacated volume fallacy at its finest right there. Like, I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into that at all. I mean, what, 131% of the 2023, how many receiving yards do they have? 1,000 total? Like, you're talking about Caleb, I mean, you're talking about Justin Fields.
Caleb Williams to Justin Fields, who
if
is
that offense is even close to the same, the volume should go way up there.
Yep.
I'm not worried about last year, this year at all. That is apples and oranges if I ever seen it. Lambo Leap says, are we trading away future draft capital to secure as many picks between 108 and 205 since the 25 class is considered weak? You guys are awesome. Remember when you're talking about 25 picks, because a lot of people are going to get anxious to trade 25 picks this week. You do not want to give away the flexibility that gives your team when you're moving forward with your dynasty teams. Like that is something you almost always regret. Rarely does it pay off.
Yep.
Leggett at the 2-2 here, and then McConkey, Adonai. So these are all guys that haven't been drafted. Ricky Pearsall at the 2-9? That's really interesting to me that he falls this far. That's crazy value. That's crazy value.
I've never seen a first round wide receiver.
We're gonna do another mock because that's not happening, I don't think. What do you guys think? Is Ricky going to follow the mid-second consistently?
I mean, maybe that's just with the assumption right now that Ayuk and Debo are still there.
I think the farthest he's going to go down would be like the 205. Like that would
tops.
That would be the lowest I'd see him.
Look, Ryan, I get
that's just my thing.
I get what you're saying. Like, I get it. Yeah, 3,400 yards. That's not a lot. Yeah, a lot of mouths to feed. Absolutely. We believe that Odunze, again, they drafted Odunze over that. I mean, they drafted Odunze over their receivers, in my opinion. Odunze is good. Odunze is that good. And him and Caleb Williams coming into the league at the same time, remember Stroud and Dell. Like, those wide receiver quarterback combos that come in at the league at the same time, they have a bond, they have a chemistry, especially top 10 guys like that. It's a good point, Ryan. I'm just not worried about it. And I think it's going to make Odunze have value, so I'm not worried about his price.
Here's the one legitimate worry with Rome Odunze from a production perspective going into his first year, and why I think he's potentially going to fall in your rookie drafts and why he'll probably end up being a good value is the JSN effect. A lot of people expected JSN to be productive last year and to transcend situation. A lot of other people expected him to not be as productive and not transcend situation from a production perspective. But to me, like, Geno is not the same caliber of quarterback that Caleb Williams is. Even Caleb Williams going into his rookie season, like, I think he's capable of a higher ceiling, potentially passing volume wise. And also at the same time, like, the way that they had JSN, DK, and Lockett play off of each other was not complimentary in any way whatsoever. And that's why they fired their entire staff. Like, seriously. That's just not how I realistically see the Bears running their offense when they went out of their way to spend the 9th overall. You're also talking about JSN, who was a 21st overall pick, versus Rum, who was a 9th overall pick.
Yeah, we do have a super chat from our guy Diddy. 14-team Superflex unique QB 102 pick May, Daniels, or JJ. I think the market's going to settle on Daniels. I'm going to say take whoever's market at that point, but Daniels is my pick at the moment. I think he's got better receivers than May. I think he's got rushing upside. Like, I think he can maintain his value because of his rushing upside.
The question of the day, Damian, why did Pearsall and Leggett go over McConkey and Mitchell?
Look, I don't think that's all that surprising. Like, honestly, I don't. Somebody said this running back. Oh yeah, running back landing spots make it so hard. Yeah, really, what I wanted to see from this mock was like the first. Honestly, I could take it down to 3 rounds. I wanted to see the top 10. Top 10 was what I wanted to see here. We're gonna do another one. I'm gonna share the link with you guys now.
I wonder how far Leggett will end up falling just because of the Mingo PTSD from last year. Like,
here's our next draft. Let's do that top 10 again. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I know, dude.
Like, I will be happy to let him fall.
Yeah,
I just will.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this about rookie wide receivers as well. Like with Odunze or other wide receivers like Pearsall, you should not be expecting them to produce as like someone that's going to win your league or help you win your league year 1.
No, but what we care about the most is always going to be
value maintaining.
Maintaining value.
Yeah.
And JSN is a case in
thank
point,
you.
like valued
Rock.
pretty highly and ended
Is that
up
thumbnail in the
losing
folder?
value. And how much production would Odunze have to have in Chicago's offense his rookie year to just maintain his value?
All right, let's try it again. Let's see what this one looks like. I mean, again, I'm going to take this down to 2 rounds. I'm really only looking at the top 10 here. I need it to have all 4 positions. Whatever. It will still let me, right? And let's do it. All right, let's see how this top 10 goes.
Boom.
Drop your questions, guys. Let's sort through this. It's a big night for Dynasty. Like, this is a good shake-up. This is a good shake-up for Dynasty fantasy football, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Keep us on our toes, man.
Yeah, for sure. Caleb at the 1-1. Okay. I think this will be normal. I think him and Marv are locked for sure. I think it would be a bad idea. 1 QB mock. We could do a 1 QB mock if you guys want to. Jaden Daniels at the 1-2.
Auto.
Yeah, I don't know if he autoed or not because he's online. He might have just queued. Because I don't think Jaden Daniels is the second ADP there. So there you have Daniels go over. I'm not going to lie. Oh, there's no wide receivers in the mock. Oops.
Rip.
Ah, shoot. Sorry, guys. Wide receiver, tight end. There you go. We'll just cut it after 2. Here, hold on. We'll do that again. There you go.
Nope.
No, go off of auto. Go off of auto. There you go. No, go off of auto. There he goes. Okay. All right. We fixed it. Sorry about that. But Harrison and then Daniels, that's going to be more like it. That's more like it. McCarthy at 4. So, okay, we got Ryan in here taking McCarthy at 4. Vikings fan. Ryan, I was just saying, like, I said you had a good point. Your point.
I love the evolution of Ryan's opinion on McCarthy from 4 months ago to now.
I feel like
it makes me happy that you're happy with the QB that you have.
I feel like Ryan was always kind of like okay with McCarthy. Was he low on McCarthy? Maybe I misremember that. I don't know.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
I thought he always was okay.
Maybe
with
I'm misremembering it.
Maybe you misremember. Okay, this is different. Let's talk about this. McCarthy and then Neighbors and Odunze, and then May. Man, you're really seeing that. Like,
guys,
that's 2 in a row.
May is the best value in Dynasty rookie drafts.
Talk about Adon.
Worthy at 8. Love it.
And then
Nick's at 9. That's where he should be going, in my opinion.
This is realistic to me.
And then you
right
got
here.
Brian Thomas, Brooks, realistic, or Benson, pick your favorite. Bowers, yeah. Bowers, and then A.D. Mitchell, Trey Benson. Yeah, I think this is very realistic, for sure. I mean, Buffalo's the first team to pick tomorrow.
And you have a running back.
Run a lot.
You have a running back bumping down Brock Bowers. I think that's going to be likely.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's happening.
Would you rather take Brooks to Dallas in the second round or Brock Bowers to the freaking Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, no, I'm taking the
Brooks
running back.
all day.
Yeah. Pearsall at the 2-3, I think that's good. Franklin, yeah, we just don't know. After this, we really don't know yet.
Yeah. We got a super chat from It's Decipher.
Oh, yeah. What's up,
Says,
buddy?
I have a 101 and 107 in a 1 QB league. I'm taking Marv at 1 and debating on Daniels at the 107. I currently have Goff and Rodgers on the team. You know, this was a discussion that we had early on in 1 QB mocks that we did where we were like, you know what? Daniels and Caleb are really in the same tier because of Daniels' rushing upside. But I think at this point, I would recommend that you take Caleb there at the 107 just because of how loaded and set their offense is going to be. There are no questions.
Yeah.
There's no questions relative to what Daniels is dealing with in Washington.
Yeah.
So I would ride with Caleb there, assuming that he gets to you there at the 107. But that's generally where you're going to see that QB run start is at the 107 and 1 QB.
Yeah,
So
I totally agree.
appreciate your super chat, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, there's our next mock. We'll do another one. I want to see another one. I want to see how many possibilities we have with this first 8, first 9. This is interesting because it's going to be a lot of analysis over the next couple of days. I'm glad we have a good team, man. That's a lifesaver in situations like these. But drop your questions, drop your Dynasty comments. We're gonna put tons of strategy videos out after this Superflex. We'll do a 1 QB, but we gotta do our 1 QB guys as well. So.
Yeah. Alexander says, as a Giants fan, I love the Malik pick, but he might need to learn to throw the ball to himself.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought one of my hot takes pre-draft was that the Giants were gonna take a receiver at 6, and that they were gonna take a QB early second or move up into the late first to get a QB, and then the 6th QB went off the board at 12. They have no one, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
No, I don't either. It's gonna be interesting for sure. All right, I'll go full screen. We'll go to our next mock here. I don't know. Should I let it finish or I just it just doesn't matter at this point. Like we just don't have these guys yet. So can I end it? Yeah, I'm just gonna end it. All right, we'll keep taking some questions here, but I just dropped another mock. You guys should be able to get in. You guys are already in. Yeah, I just got to switch it over on my computer. You guys are fast. Let's do it again.
Again.
And then we'll do a 1 QB for you 1 QB guys. We'll keep talking Superflex questions though. Like we got the 1 QB. Like I could see 1 QB is gonna be tough here. Like I think 1 QB is gonna be really tough. So we'll see. Here we go. Gosh, shut up. Stupid noises.
Oh, you good there?
Yeah, I don't like it when it makes noises. I don't like it at all. All right, let's see. Caleb, Marv. Okay, any rookie picks we should target now? I'm going to say no. I think the time to down tier, the time to target late first and early seconds was last week.
I think the time to target any picks period was last week. I'm not trading for any picks.
Look, and the reason a lot of people, which just hasn't happened to us a lot.
We knew regardless of these picks were going to go up in value after the draft.
I think a lot of people were accusing us of the rookie fever thing, but like we anticipated this being such a deep draft, and you saw like record offensive players tonight, like first 14 picks. The previous record was 7. That's nuts.
7
of the first 7
straight.
picks. Yeah, 7 straight.
Oh, okay.
To start a draft.
I was like, there is a lot more than
no.
players
but,
total that went.
So I don't think you're buying rookie picks unless somebody's really down on the class for some reason and is like, yeah, these late first suck. Obviously play the market, but okay. Williams and then the 3 receivers there. I don't think you see this as much, but you've got Daniels and May and then Worthy and then Thomas. And at this point, at the 1-9, this is where I'm looking now and I'm saying...
Wait, is this a 1 QB mock?
No, this is a Superflex.
This is a Superflex mock. Okay, yeah. I was like, oh. But...
The next one will be 1 QB. There we go. That's great value there at the 1-9. That is amazing value. Mm-hmm. So we've seen this as a trend. That 110, 111, 112 range is still a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
So our biggest faller so far is hands down Bowers. Our biggest riser is hands down Worthy.
Yes.
Or Nix.
Yeah.
And then I think who could end up being our biggest value volatile asset in your rookie drafts where you really don't know where he's going to go.
Nix.
It might be McCarthy.
You're
smashing him there.
I'm smashing
because but what I'm saying is like if you're seeing him go as far down as a 1-9 but as high as a 105, he's the most value volatile.
No, I agree.
Market value volatile.
What do you guys think about Rashee Rice's price and value now with Worthy?
Oh, they're totally complementary.
They are so complementary. I totally agree with that. They're so complimentary.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's a dream
Look,
pairing.
Rashee Rice is the biggest faller on Keep Trade Cut over the last 30 days. He's dropped 30 spots. I'm cautiously.
All the more reason to keep buying Rashee Rice.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're gonna do a one. Now our next mock draft is gonna be a 1 QB. So if you guys are 1 QB guys and you want to jump in this one, let me know. But we'll just keep taking questions here. Yeah. So 1 QB guy got 105, hoping for wide receiver. Yeah, I mean I think that's good. I don't think anyone outside of these wide receivers return their value outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. That's really interesting. Really interesting. I mean, the Giants could draft a quarterback next year. I think it's really early to say that. What?
I just realized the previous record of rookie wide receivers in round 1 was 7. We got 7.
So we tied it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nuts. Bauer still's got to go over
We
Knicks.
tied it with Pearsall and Leggett of all.
Yeah, Ricky
receivers.
Pearsall is the one that
Seriously?
tied it. Yeah, I know. This is a good question. Bauer still has to go over Knicks, right? No. I'm taking Knicks personally. I think they're the same tier, but like,
take Knicks.
If I'm on the clock, I'm taking Knicks.
Dude, I am so I cannot stress enough how low I am on the Vegas landing spot.
Good
Like,
analysis.
It disgusts me.
Good analysis here. Rashee Rice is a huge buy. He stops becoming a buy when his suspension's announced. There will be the true bottom of his value because the suspension's already factored in. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally,
Sure.
100% agree with that. So there you go. Adonai, Ladd, Corum, Benson, Franklin, still a faller here that got picked tonight. 2 fallers. They got picked tonight. So let's see where they go, and then we'll switch over to 1 QB. I agree. I think Rice is still a good buy. I think maybe this will take his value down a little bit more. Oh, Leggett tied it, not Pearsall. True enough. Yep, that's right. Well, technically they all tied it, but yes, you're right. Leggett was the last pick. Pearsall. Okay, so interesting. I haven't even been paying attention to this, but I mean, he's not gone.
Can you blame people?
No. Why did I mean? Does anybody think that Leggett makes sense for the Panthers? There's Leggett. Man, I mean, first round. Like, I don't mind that price for Leggett.
If Leggett as a first round wide receiver ends up falling to the late second, then you have to take him.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with that.
I just love seeing that he's going that far down because people know.
I know, but we're gonna have to evaluate the price.
Yeah, Zastra says still trade away Zamir White and get Rice. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Not
Zamir
close.
White could get replaced tomorrow.
Not close, man. Yeah, I mean, clearly. We were just giving the Raiders a benefit of the doubt of team building and saying, they may not actually draft a running back day 2 of the rookie draft, and then they go in the first round, they draft a tight end. So don't be surprised if they go and they take a running back day 2.
Yeah.
A couple, just you never know.
2 point per catch tight end. How early would you draft Bowers? Still like probably 108. That's probably as early as I would do it.
Yeah.
So, that's just how I feel about him right now. All right, so this next mock is going to be a 1 QB mock. So I do want to emphasize that, but
Make sure you put emphasis on the correct
syllable.
There you go.
I got to stop this other mock real quick. There we go. I'm going to end this one.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, we're really just looking at.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to answer this chat first. Drake Wall says, out of 7 Dynasty leagues, I acquired 7 late firsts. Looking back, I'm loving all my trades. That advice was awesome, and you guys rock.
Thanks, buddy.
Drake.
Look, I think Nathan and I made these deals too. Nathan and I made these deals with you guys.
Yeah.
I hope you know that. Like, we don't just say, okay, do this, and then not do it. Like, we play. This is 1 QB, by the way, so we're watching this as this unfolds. We play Dynasty. We play Dynasty exactly like we tell you on the channel. We're essentially just telling you how we're playing right now, whether it works or whether it doesn't. Caleb Williams there, interesting, but you've got Harrison, Neighbors, Odunze, Worthy, and then Williams, and then BTJ. So I guess if you're in need of a quarterback, then maybe you're taking Caleb Williams that high in a 1 QB. This one will fall off even quicker, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right. We just don't know enough with the running backs and the receivers from day 2 yet. But Adonai Mitchell here, so I mean, we're already getting. Still, we're taking the promise of Adonai Mitchell tomorrow. I'll put the super chat up. Drake, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Matthew says, Bowers went from my 104 and 1 QB to off my board completely. Luckily, I have McBride. I want to bring this up.
You're going to have a lot of people that say that.
You're going to hear a lot of people say that. 2, this is case in point why you pre-draft do not assign names to picks.
Right.
Don't ever do it. Don't bet the farm that your team need is going to be met by investing in a pick where you're convinced a guy is going to go. Bowers, lock top 10, didn't happen. Bowers, lock to this situation or that situation, didn't happen. He went to Vegas. Like, this is case in point why if you were betting the farm on you getting tight end locked down for the foreseeable future with Bowers, like, it's just not going to happen anymore.
Right.
It's just not. Or you're going to be forced to reach and get a horrible landing spot. So just be careful with that when you're making deals like in future off seasons and stuff, especially when you have team need and you're trading 4 picks for team need where you assume a certain player is going to go there. Just be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize he specified 7 late firsts. I love that you did that. I love that.
Oh, wow.
I love that. That's awesome. You're going to see huge value jumps for all those firsts. Like, I love that for you.
Yep.
I love that for me too, honestly.
Yeah.
I really do.
Tanner says, do I trade Mike Evans for the 201? I mean, at this point,
Emphatically, yes, you do.
Yeah.
If you can still get that deal done, you do.
I don't think you can anymore, which is why we wanted you to do it earlier.
Yeah.
Took AD assuming Buffalo tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really nice. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm hoping Mitchell at least, and if it's not him, then it's got to be Ayuk or Higgins.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd assume Ayuk because of the pure salt move.
Yeah.
McLean says, should I get the 102, 209, and Wan'Dale Robinson for Devontae Adams, 107 and 202?
Interesting.
Yeah. Whew. Throw away the 209 and Wan'Dale. So Adams, 107, 202, or Marvin.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Bo Nix just went.
Well, which side would you take there? We got to answer it. I'd probably go Marvin.
I'd go Marv there. Yeah. That's what I thought you were saying. All right, we're gonna end it there. 1 QB. We'll go back to answering questions. So drop your questions, drop your comments. If you guys want in the flock giveaway, here's the info for that. But basically, we're giving away an annual flock membership, 2 team blueprints, and a face-to-face Zoom for your dynasty team with Nathan and I. Not to mention, there's 5 winners. 4 of the other winners are going to get blueprints. So there you go. It's rolling at the bottom of the screen if you guys are interested in that. But we're here to answer your questions. Would you trade Bryce for Bo Nix / Drake May? May slots ahead of Bryce Young in my dynasty rankings. Nix slots around Bryce Young in my dynasty rankings, probably, right? You would think Nix is probably going to be around a 6th round dynasty startup value.
Oh, I think he'll be lower than that.
You think he'll be lower? Okay, so you would take.
I think
so you'd take Bryce.
He'll be 7th or 8th.
Yeah, yeah, you'd still take. Okay, so you'd take. It would be May, Bryce, and then Nix, right?
Probably.
That's what I think. It's still early, but. Yes, this was a 1 QB mock, by the way. We wanted to do that for you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all are the only Dynasty people I watch. Appreciate that, man. Definitely get lots of opinions, but we appreciate you watching us. If AD goes to Buffalo and Ladd goes to New England, are they both top 12 picks? I forgot Buffalo didn't even pick tonight. So we have another...
They're picking at 33, so we're going to have another basically first-round pick.
That's awesome, dude. That's sick.
In the early second.
That's freaking awesome. I'm so excited. Tomorrow night's going to be fun. I think tomorrow night's going to be awesome.
Yes. I am so ready to see where Benson and Brooks go.
Yeah. I am too.
So ready.
I'm very excited for that. How much does Hollywood Brown take away from Xavier Worthy? You could debate
Year one,
this.
Probably a decent amount.
Yeah,
Year
I mean,
one.
yeah, probably.
You're definitely not drafting Worthy for immediate production. And I don't even think he's that much of a project wide receiver. I think Andy Reid and the Chiefs as team builders are smart with the way that they've developed talent in the past. And one of the mistakes that they did make was drafting a guy in the second round like Sky Moore, who was undeveloped, and they just kind of tried to throw him in.
Yeah.
And it obviously didn't pay off at all.
Hey,
Worthy's a lot more polished, a lot better of a route runner. It won't take him as long to translate to the NFL with Mahomes, but Hollywood is definitely. I think this is nail in the coffin for Hollywood. Definitely not being in Kansas City long term.
Yeah,
that is for
it was
sure.
a 1 year like try.
It was a 1 year trial year where
essentially
some
what it
people were
was.
like, maybe he could get re-signed, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Kenny, super chat from Kenny. Kenny, appreciate you, my friend. 103, 104, and a 1 QB. Shop the 104th Balor's landing spot or take Worthy and run away laughing. Yeah, I'm good taking those guys. I really don't feel super comfortable down tiering right now from the 104 and a 1 QB league. Like, I'm more comfortable. I mean, tomorrow we'll know more. Tomorrow we'll answer that question fully because, like, if it's Benson and Brooks both, like, maybe you do down tier. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Bofa. So 103, I think you pick. 104, we'll see. Appreciate it, man. Brad says, is there any question whatsoever at 101 to do with Harrison over Caleb? No. I think most people are taking Caleb, and I don't blame them. I think Caleb's the 101. I mean, especially with Rome tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big. That's a big deal for him.
Rome was the finalizer.
Yeah, it was. That was it. What if you can't swing a trade down? QBs are Stroud, Herbert could use a wide receiver. Okay, if you got Stroud and Herbert, maybe you are taking Marv. What do you think about that? Is there a situation where you can take Marv and you're okay with it? Are you still taking Caleb with those QBs?
I was adamant about taking Caleb in a 12-team Superflex before, and I'm even more adamant about it now. I always expected Marv to go 4th overall to the Cardinals. Like, that's where I expected him to go, and I knew that he'd potentially lose some value if he went to New England. But I didn't really bake that into his value. I assumed he'd go to Arizona.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. What I did not assume was Odunze going to the freaking Bears.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm taking Caleb regardless.
I think I am. It's tough. It's a dream landing spot. It's a dream landing spot for Marv, honestly, in my opinion. But it's tough.
That's just that didn't change for me. Like that is where I saw him going.
I just
like
didn't
that
see
never changed for me.
Ah, man. I guess I didn't realize how high I'd be on him with Kyler. I guess I just didn't realize it. Like, I just feel higher.
We talked about it in theoreticals all the time.
I know. It's just, yeah, I thought there's so much talk about Arizona trading back. Like,
Makes me a lot happier about Michael Wilson too.
that helps Michael Wilson for sure.
Yeah, as a sleeper.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. We have, again, a lot to talk about. We have a ton of analysis to do. Andrew Super Chat says 104, 106, 108. What would you do with the picks? Superflex. 104, I'm picking. 106, I'm picking. 108, probably picking because I think you'll get a value there. I think right now I'm making those picks.
Yep.
If you can get overpays and get proven assets, we always recommend that. Look, we were telling you to buy picks not because we had rookie fever, but because we knew the value of these picks was most likely going to go up in a lot of value.
Yep.
So because of that, like, we're not like they're going to be good picks and you're going to get value from the picks. But if you can get proven value, we're always going to take proven players if we can, almost always. So, I mean, see what you can get, but like, man. Yeah. I see what you can get. I would be super comfortable picking, but again, tomorrow, yeah, I think the 108, you could down tier from the 108 probably if tomorrow goes well. So you could also think about that. If you need quarterback, you got quarterback at 104, you got put quarterback or wide receiver. You're going to get quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback at 104, 106. It's going to be your choice. So good spot to be in. I hope you guys have a lot of rookie picks. I think they went up in value. I'm curious to see like the Dynasty community's reaction to tonight as a whole. Do you guys think tonight went well for Dynasty or went bad for Dynasty? I'm curious because Nathan and I think I think it went really well. Like, I'm happy with this. You're not going to get all good landing spots, but you got some good ones in there. And the depth of the draft capital installation is nuts to me. I'm happy with this. I'm honestly very happy with this.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
I'm more happy just about the value of the picks.
I am too. I mean, again, that's why we were
100%.
playing the market with the value of the picks.
Yep.
So, let's see. 1 QB with 102. Are we still locked into neighbors here? Is it ever Caleb and trading away Burrow? Not Caleb. Not Caleb. It's probably neighbors. For sure. I think, right, I'm taking neighbors 102. 1 QB.
Yes. Easy.
Yeah, I think it's neighbors. Look, I don't think neighbors landing spots. The Bowers spot really soured the night, but I don't think a tight end getting a bad landing spot does much to this class.
I think the only reason the Bowers thing soured the night is because Bowers is the only really big deal tight end in this class, and there was way too much riding on Bowers getting a good landing spot.
Yeah, I think
Way
so,
too much. And I think it hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I feel for you guys.
Yeah, went well for everybody who wanted Bowers at the end of the first. There you go.
Yeah.
Anytime you have 20 offensive players going in the first round, it's a good night for Dynasty. That's exactly how we feel. Mm-hmm. Exactly how we feel.
I also feel good about Penix going top 10 when we were screaming from the rooftops that Michael Penix was a round 1 quarterback. I just didn't expect it to be the freaking Falcons.
Yeah, I know. I didn't either. Don't necessarily think it was good or bad, just different than expected.
Yeah. Yep.
I do have a question for you guys. Real quick before we do this. Do you guys want a video breaking down the impact of round 1 on Dynasty? Yes or no in the comments. Most of the time this is yes, but I want to make sure that this is going to be something that we take in as a community.
Yeah.
I think after this, we're going to record a video and break it down for you as best as we can so far to get that out to be watched tomorrow while you guys are at work waiting for the second round. So yes or no? What do you think, guys? Tonight did not change the value of picks, but it did show we don't assign names to pick before the draft. Very true. We try not to do that, for that reason. Any promo codes for Flock? Code domain. Link is in the comments. Here you go. Look, I'll give it for you right here. flockfantasy.com/domain. All of you guys we'd love to have over there. Team blueprints are going to be vital now. Rookie draft advice is going to be vital now. Nathan and I are spending Sunday helping people one-on-one with the rookie drafts, and we're going to help you guys as well. Yes, love a video. Yes. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. With that being said, obviously it's 1 a.m. So we're going to probably be doing that so we don't die during that video pretty soon. So
and our all-nighter is in.
We are going to be all night
hours,
in 20. So. We're going to be up all night again in 24 hours. So, but again, very consequential night 1. We think it went well. We think this is a good little wrinkle for Dynasty Fantasy Football at the moment. So, we'll definitely continue to keep our eye on obviously what happens tomorrow, and continue to try to keep our ears to the ground in terms of how the Dynasty community is valuing this and where we as our domain community can take advantage of market fallers, people who are really overly high on people market value wise. So, I think this is a good night. So, guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really have enjoyed it. Again, here's the giveaway details. If you want to get a free annual membership, which includes rookie draft advice, all that, 2 team blueprints, and a Zoom call with Nathan and I to discuss your Dynasty team, you can get it for free. There's your entry information, $10 one entry, $25 for 3, and there's 5 winners. 4 other people are going to get a free team blueprint from us as well. Look, it has been a fun night. This is the best week. This is a holiday for Dynasty Fantasy Football players. So I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys have spent it with us. So we'll be here in the early morning. We'll release the video as soon as possible. We're gonna keep working on this for you guys, and we're gonna dominate our rookie drafts. That's what we're working. That is the goal, is to dominate our rookie drafts. So. Guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much, and we will be back here tomorrow night for our all-night live stream. So make sure you tune in before and after the draft. Appreciate you guys. See you later.